So, Evan, what else is in this 24-page order?
Nichole, it does two things. It grants former President Trump a win, appointing a special master in the case, and it slows down the government's criminal investigation by blocking prosecutors from taking more investigative steps with the seized material until the special master review plays out. In a win for former President Trump and his legal team, a judge he appointed has ruled in his favor. Her Labor Day ruling granting his request for a special master to review documents the FBI seized in the August search of Mar-a-Lago. Judge Aileen Cannon concluded, quote, "The court hereby authorizes the appointment of a special master to review the seized property for personal items and documents and potentially privileged material." Trump and his legal team argued for a special master or independent third party to go through the thousands of documents now in FBI custody, claiming some of the materials may be owed back to him because of attorney-client or executive privilege. The government argued the request was moot, given they had already had a team review the documents and filter things out, and that it would slow down their criminal investigation. But Cannon's order further explained her decision, saying, quote, "The investigation and treatment of a former president is of unique interest to the general public, and the country is served best by an orderly process that promotes the interest and perception of fairness." In his first speech since the FBI raid, Trump railed against the FBI and DOJ.
A few weeks ago, you saw it, when we witnessed one of the most shocking abuses of power by any administration in American history. The shameful raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago, was a travesty of justice.
But last week, we got the most detailed look yet at what the FBI found, including 48 empty folders with classified markings and more than 11,000 other government documents. Prosecutors argue they should have been in the possession of the National Archives, and that, quote, efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation by Trump or his legal team. Remember, after his lawyers signed a document in June that no other documents with classified markings were in Trump's possession, the August 8th raid revealed at least 11 boxes containing documents marked classified. And Nichole, so the judge has set a September 9th deadline for both sides to submit their filings on who they want to be special master candidates, the details of their duties, and any potential disagreements. In a statement, DOJ responding today saying, quote, "The United States is examining the opinion and will consider appropriate next steps in the ongoing litigation." Nichole?
All right, Evan Lambert, thank you for that. Well, joining us now is David Weinstein, attorney and former federal prosecutor. David, as always, great to have you here. Okay, so which side benefits more from this new ruling?
Nichole, at this juncture, the former president has the bigger benefit from this ruling. It puts a pin in what's going on. It pauses the Department of Justice's review of these documents and has now brought a third party into play to review these documents.
So what is this changing now, if anything, for the DOJ's actual investigation?
The only thing it changes for the DOJ's investigation is that they won't be able, for the moment, to use whatever it was they seized at Mar-a-Lago. It doesn't stop the investigation itself from moving forward, nor does it stop the grand jury sitting in D.C. from continuing to explore this investigation.
All right. So, David, we know that, the Justice Department was not for this. We saw that statement released today. So what is next? I mean, is it possible that the DOJ will attempt to appeal this ruling? And what would that process even look like?
I think it's more than just possible. I think that the Department of Justice, given the facts and the way this ruling was handed out, is going to take an appeal. Their avenue for appeal would be to go up either to the 11th Circuit, or they could perhaps say that this is not the proper venue or jurisdiction for this particular motion and attempt to move the entire matter up to the District of Columbia. But all of that is going to delay the proceedings, much like what this order has done already.
Okay, so the proceedings will likely be delayed. It sounds like, the DOJ may, in fact, appeal this ruling. But let's just get back to what the judge has said now. How is this special master then going to be chosen? And if the special master is chosen by a Trump-appointed judge, is there then a concern about potential bias?
Well, the special master isn't going to be chosen by the judge herself. She's asked the parties to submit names between them. So hopefully they'll arrive on some consensus of who the special master will be. And then they have to set out the procedures, how the special master is going to engage in the review, what kind of communications the special master will have with the judge, with the parties, the scope of what it is the special master is reviewing, and small things like how the special master is going to get played. But keep in mind that ultimately whatever ruling is issued by the special master has to be reviewed by this district court judge.
Well, and just really quickly, you said that there has to be consensus to even, to pick this special master, consensus on both sides. How likely is that to happen, seeing what has happened up until this point?
I think it's going to be very hard for them to reach a consensus. I think they're each going to submit names. They'll tell the court they can't agree on somebody, and then the judge is going to be the one who chooses.
All right, so the process continues. All right, David Weinstein, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.